Good morning. Today is the 26th of December 2022. The time is 9:34 a.m. And um, uh, yesterday I saw a video. I don't know if it was on YouTube or if it was on television, but it was talking about dehydration. And the person was showing how to tell if you're dehydrated or not. And so I took the test and it showed that I am dehydrated, which I already knew that because that's what these people is doing to us. And this is beginning to affect my throat. I noticed when I sing that it's affecting my singing voice and also my speaking voice because um, I FaceTimed one of my grandsons yesterday. Those are the only people that I FaceTime. Normally I don't FaceTime other people. Just my family, my daughters and my grandchildren. And cause what I notice when people FaceTime me, the only people that FaceTime me are the people that they're out and they just trying to be nosy. But anyway, I stopped accepting for anybody. Unless they ask me first, can we FaceTime? Which they don't ask, they just FaceTime me. And out of trying to be respectable, I accept it, but I won't do it no more. But anyway, he was saying, can you take your finger right here and put it up? See how they stand up there like that? That's showing I'm dehydrated. If you pull it and it snap back, then you're not you are dehydrated. You hydrated. If it snap back down, you're hydrated. If it stay up like mine is, you are dehydrated. Which I already knew I was dehydrated because I wake up with my mouth just dry and my stomach was swelling more and more. Um, so this morning when I woke up, and I went in prayer, and I, giving God His honor, thanking Him for life, thanking Him that I'm still alive because I feel like the devil has been trying to kill me for a long time. But I told God I needed answers. I need answers, Lord. Why are we going through what we're going through? And I do believe this will got my answer from God. But sometimes you have to be sure that it's not your own mind saying this. But I do believe this was God. And He said for us to grow closer to Him. That's what we need to do, to grow closer to God. And I do believe, now He didn't say this is me saying this. I believe that once we become on one accord, that God is going to come and destroy this technology. When we are on one accord, because that's what God wants, oneness. He wants oneness. And as long as people go in separate ways, they're not growing closer to Him. But when we are all on the same uh, uh, growing closer to Him, I put it like that. And we don't have to call ourselves the same, but as long as we are in obedience, as long as we are going in one direction, no matter what religion you are in, or lifestyle that you're in, as long as there's no sin in it, I think God is going to destroy this technology. I do believe that with my whole heart because we was chosen for this. These people put us on this list. A lot of times God will use the devil to get to where he wants it to be. He'll use the devil, just like he used Pharaoh to take those Israelites out of Egypt. He used the devil to get Jesus to the cross. And he'll use the devil to get us to where he wants us to be in him. You know, there's people all over the world that is being targeted. And look at all this energy that's on the walls. It's not just on the walls. I'm showing it on the wall because you can see it better on the wall, but it's on me. You can see the energy all on me. It's all on me. We are submerged in this energy. Now, who could be so cruel to do something like this? Nobody but the devil and his seed. Nobody but the devil and the devil's seed. And the only people that comes in here is the devil's seed, because they only use the devil's seed. You know, all these companies, you can't even call a company to come into your home without it being the devil's seed, because they're going to receive a text from whoever it is that's monitoring, or whatever it is that's monitoring, and going to give them a bunch of lies. And they're going to go along with the lies and do whatever the lies tell it to do. That's who comes in this house. Just like that evil, wicked man that brought us the door to our washing machine, would just stick his nose in his finger in his nose and get snort and just rub it on our door. But see, the people he worked for is a part of this seed too. They probably didn't do nothing. They probably high-fived him that he did something such disgusting. And when I called, I text, I emailed her, the secretary to my sister's lawyer, and I sent her, I wasn't able to just send the video, the whole video. I had to do it in parts because AOL won't allow me to send out videos. They just so short they look like a picture. When I used to send out whole videos, no matter how long it was, I could send it out because I emailed a lot to myself, which AOL deleted. So I did send a video with him dropping the door and him sticking his finger in his nose, wiping it on the, but it was just real short. I had to do it in 3 parts. So she said something about him dropping the door, but she said nothing about him wiping that nasty snort on the, because she works for his lawyer, for my sister's lawyer rather. So something can be done about him doing that mess if they cared, but they don't care. She just was worried about the door. But what about the germs on the door? I don't get out. I'm here 24 hours a day. But I'm gonna try to go somewhere else so that I can. I know I can't even go outside and ground myself. Everybody keep telling me to ground myself, put my feet on the ground, but the energy is coming out from the ground because it's up under the ground, because that's where the electrical system is at, underground. So if I go out there, I'm gonna do nothing but put more energy in me. Because I used to couldn't even go outside on the ground. When I come out here, my feet will be burning because this energy will cling to my shoes. But I kept going out there anyway. I just dealt with the burning feet, which I do it here in this house. My feet burning right now because I was in my sister's room. Resetting her feeding tube, and I had to put put water in her feeding tube to flush it. So that's what it's called, flushing the feeding tube. So I flushed the feeding tube and gave her some water. See, I had to stand in one spot. And I don't know how they could make it like a gush. If that's what it feel like, a gush of hot air that shoots in my feet. And but I have to do what I have to do. And so I don't know what they're doing to my sister. I know what they're doing to me, but I don't know, if they burning her. Sometimes I can hear her holler out. And when I go in there, it look like she's asleep, but I know it wakes me up. I can hear her voice. I'm asleep, and I can hear her voice hollering, and I wake up because see, she'll play sleep. I don't know why she do that, because I did it yesterday. And she was in there hollering, and I opened the door, I see the door like that. I said, girl, you not asleep. I don't know why she'll play sleep like that, but this morning she's in a good mood. She was trying to talk to me, but she couldn't talk because probably her mouth so dry probably. But I gave her some water. We have a little tube to give her water through that. And it's just bad. And I got news yesterday, and it's not nothing I was wishing for. But the boy that actually caused the fight, because it didn't have nothing to do with my son, nothing whatsoever. It was him courting this man, my son's cousin wife. I've told this story so many times. And he caught the man's wife and picking at him. Because they think they bad. They go for bad. You can get a group of boys that'll ruin a town, especially a small town. And that's what these boys were. But anyway, he he beat the boy up, and he ran to the police station, and the police was in the car. So he ran up to the car to tell the police that the boy, his mama, and his buddies and other people, a group of people running after this one man. And he ran to the police station at the car, and the police rolled his window up and locked the door. Now, what kind of coward should be a police? So he saw my son walking my little granddaughter. She was only 2 years old. He had her up on his neck. So the cousin ran over to my son, was telling him what was going on. And my son just standing there listening to his cousin. And the boy that was going with my son's cousin's wife ran up and hit my son with his little girl on his neck. What kind of fool would do something like that? You see he got a child up on his neck, and you're going to hit him where he could have dropped the child. Could have died. She could have died. Anything could have happened. But what happened was my son took my granddaughter off his neck and whooped his behind. Him and his friends, they jumped on the wrong one. Now these were but men that watched the fight that told me. Now my son was dead, but when they told me this, but they said my son whooped all of them. And some kind of way he fell and was on his back and was still whooping them. They said he would knock one of them out. My son was fighting for his life, but all them guys jump on him. And then the boy mama, they said she had a butter knife and cut my son with I saw the scratch. I thought maybe this, by them fighting. But she did that, and she gonna get what's coming to her. Now I'm gonna speak that into existence. Before she leave this earth, she will reap what she sowed, because she should have been talking to her son, telling him better. No, she out there running out there, and my son didn't have nothing even to do with the fight. He walked up and hit my son, and the boy that he was fighting was standing right there. My son got a child on his neck. So what kind of devil is he? No devil, not cause he dead. I didn't wish it on him. But anyway, the police, I want to talk about it because the police watched the fight, got out his car, and stood on the corner and watched the fight. And they said that they left. And evidently he called his daddy from South Carolina. But he dead too. He dead now. Only one that's still alive is the one that shot my son. So God must be got a special death for him. But anyway, got my nose itching. They said like an hour and a half later, my son was sitting in the car in a truck with his uncle and this other guy. And they rode past and turned back around and got out the car with guns. So my son got out the truck, wasn't in the car, they was in the truck, and walked up and said that his uncle walked and got in between them. And asked him why he pulling got guns on his nephew. And the police came over. No, he was still didn't do nothing. Some kind of way there was a bunch of police from different places came and pulling gun out on my son. And that's when they called me. They called me, and his girlfriend called me and was telling me that the police were pulling guns out on my son. So I had got a ride back to my hometown. And when I got to my hometown, there was just a crowd of people standing out there. And I walked up to my son. His t-shirt was tore off of him, and I saw a long scar all the way down from his chest all the way down to his stomach. And so I started telling him, you need to go home. And these people are pulling guns out on you. I said, you need to go home. He said, Mom, I'm not going home. And so I got loud because I could hear somebody talking, oh, he ain't listening to her. And when whoever the dude that said it, I got loud. And I told him, these people don't care nothing about you. They standing out here. I said, you go home. I said, because if they come up here with guns, they're going to have to kill me too. And that's what made him go home. Because I know he didn't want nothing to happen to his mama, but I won't go home either. And I told him, if they shoot you, they're going to have to kill me too. And that's when he went home. Because we only stayed 2 blocks down the street. Yeah, 2 blocks. 2 blocks down the street. We was on the same street that my family home was on. So he went home, and he was in the house. And so this car just kept passing by, just kept riding back. And it would go around the block, come back through. It was one of them old, like an old Cadillac or something, but it was two or three toned, gold, burgundy, and something. So I was paying attention to the car. And so I said, who car is that then? They didn't know. And I didn't know who it was until after they killed my son. Because I was going to spend the night, in my hometown, but my daughter was acting mean and ill and ready to talk about she got to go to work the next day. I'm worried about my son. And so I said, well, if I stay in Roland, will somebody take me home? Because we was living in a whole different town. Nobody didn't say nothing, so I went on home with my daughter. By the time I got home good, maybe I don't know how much longer it was. They called me and told me my son had been shot. And a girl I was going to church with took me, because my daughter was driving like she was gone crazy about to hit a dang on pole. I said, oh no, you're not taking me to roll and driving like that. So her and my two daughters, they went on. And I got somebody else to take me to roller coaster. My daughter was driving. I looked like she was about to hit a pole. So by the time I got there, my son, I was thinking shot, not dead. And I was just worried, you know. And when I got there, he was laying face down in the dirt. They hadn't even touched him. The ambulance was there, didn't touch him. They just let my son lay there and die. And my cousin was there, cause they said they saw him walk down the street, on the sidewalk, and they walked around the curb, cause he was with people that he thought was his friends, but they were setting him up. That Jamel set my son up, and that's who called my son to the car. And when my son was walking to the car, where Jamel was, Geraldine sat up in the car because the girl said she didn't even see Geraldine. And my son, evidently, he didn't see Geraldine. He said Geraldine sat up in the car and started shooting at the ground. So when my son was walking towards Jamel, he stopped walking towards Jamel and started walking towards Geraldine. Because he was getting ready to give Geraldine a good whipping. Geraldine with his coward, he's nothing but a low piece of crap of a coward. And as I have to say that. Anybody that'll shoot somebody and then brag about it. He shot my son, and my son fell over on Jamel mama car. He only got shot one time. But the DA, Johnson Britt, the DA, the devil's advocate, and Danny Bradshaw was the chief of police, Johnson Britt, and Judge Richardson covered up my son's murder. And God told me, I see the cover up. Be still and know that I am the Lord your God. So God got a special something for them people. Johnson Britt, Judge Richardson, Danny Bradshaw, and Johnny Weaver. Johnny Weaver was head of the CIA. And they was a woman. I just cannot remember. I know I got some paperwork with her name on it though. Because I was writing letters. I was keeping the newspaper clips and everything. And I still got it. And they lied. I mean, Danny Bradshaw actually went to court and act out what my son was supposed to have done, which was nothing but a lie. This man had told me, he said they're not going to do nothing for your son. They're not going to help your son. Because he had already went through some stuff with Danny Bradshaw. Danny Bradshaw had him put in the crazy house. Because Danny Bradshaw had his wife's dog. They had a little expensive dog that Danny Bradshaw's wife wanted. And he was going with some woman, the man's wife's sister. And she gave Danny the dog. And he wanted his dog back because that was his wife's dog. And Danny Bradshaw had the man put in prison. I mean, not in prison, in the crazy house. Lies said that he was the one shooting up in the air and was saying that the man was shooting up in the air. And they came and locked the man up, put him in the crazy house. He said the only way that Danny stopped messing with him when he went and talked to Musselwhite and Musselwhite. And he left him alone after that. Danny Bradshaw had already been fired from one city, and before they sent him to our city, and he didn't do nothing but terrorize our city. I do believe with everything in me that he's the one that put my name on this blackball list. Because back in the 80s, I was working at the corner store. And I was in there by myself. I worked the second shift. I was in there by myself, and he come in there like he was gonna order something and talk about I don't never see you with a man. I said that's cause I don't have a man. But they want none of his. He don't supposed to see me with a man. Cause when I'm with a man, it's just me and the man. We don't need no company. We don't need no audience. It's just us. Just us. And I believe he the one put my name on his blackball list. So back in the 80s, I was living a sinful life. I didn't get to the church until the 2000s, sometime in the early part of the 2000s. But it wasn't his business, you know. It wasn't none of his business. But what I did with a man, it wasn't none of his business, because I sure wasn't worried about what he was doing with the black women, because his wife was white. Well, he dealt with black women. But I wasn't going to be near one of them, because I wasn't interested in it. I wasn't interested in him, and I wouldn't have spent time with him, because I knew his wife for one thing, but I had no interest in him. Just like my boss, he trying to get me to go out with him, and at first I thought it was him, because he kept messing with me, asking me to go out with him. So to get him to shut up to me, I said okay, but I knew I wasn't going nowhere with him. I wasn't interested in him neither. And he said thought I was gonna walk down a dark road to go meet him somewhere. I mean, really. And I forgot about it, to take the truth. I went to the store the next day, because that's where I worked, in the grocery store. And he told me, "Hey, Regina." I said, "Hey." He said, "How was your night?" I said, "It was good." Because I went out to the club. And he said, "Well, mine won't waffle. You know what?" He was cussing. He said, "Because I was waiting on you." I said, "Oh, I forgot. I did forget though, but I won't go. I didn't have no intentions of going with him no way. I'm making minimum wages. You think I'm gonna go somewhere and sleep with somebody? And this my boss? No, not me." And so when I went to check on my hours for the week, he had me down for 7 hours for the whole entire week. 3 hours one day and 4 hours the next day. I said him and his friend was sitting up there in this little office. I reckon they thought they, I was gonna say. I looked at them hours and turned around and went up to the manager. I said, "You can tell him I won't be back." And I went home. He gonna send this girl to tell me that if I want my job, I can come talk to him. I said, "You tell him I don't want that job. He can keep it, because I don't have to sleep with the boss in order to keep a minimum wage job. One thing I don't have to do. I'm broke, still broke from one week to the next week, working minimum wage. No, I don't want that job." And I didn't go back neither. And so I can't remember how long it was before somebody called me saying that they were from the sexual harassment. And I'm trying to, it come to my mind, well, how they know anything about it? But I just told him what happened. And when I told him what happened, the man started talking junk. I hung up on him. But I didn't even think that it could have been him. My boss had somebody to call me to see what I was going to say. And I had no intentions of trying to call nobody no sexual harassment. I just won't going back. It didn't mean that much to me. It's just a minimum. I could see that if I were making some big time money, and I would miss that money, but making nothing. It definitely was like $3 and something back in the 80s. I won't stud that job. I was just doing something extra to have a little extra change. But I care nothing about that job. And so some man came One of the customers came looking for me. And he wanted to know why come I quit. Because they like to come into my register. Because they said them other girls in there was too stuck up, you know. And he came to my job, and came to the house and asked me why did I quit my job? Was it because of the boss trying to court me? And I said, yeah, I won't gonna lie. He said, I knew it. I knew it. He said, I knew that's what had happened. So people were wondering what happened to me. I quit. You know, people, them bosses think they could just talk to you and treat you in the kind of way. I had another boss. I was working at the store across from the where I used to work at. I worked there twice. I'm trying to think which one did I work there first. But anyway, I'm working my behind off, and I didn't have no more sandwiches to do. So I started washing up the pots and the dishes and stuff. Cause the boy that he had in there washing dishes was he somewhere doing something else. So I was over there washing the dishes, and the boss coming in hollering at me. Honey, you don't be hollering at me because I'm in here doing some work that I don't get paid to do. And they want no sandwich to be fixed. But see, the girl that was over the kitchen lied on me because she was trying to get somebody else hired. So you know what I did? I gave them their kitchen. You don't holler at me, and you don't talk no junk to me. You don't cuss me. You don't do nothing, but let me do my work because I'm gonna do my work. I had them fix all the sandwiches that I done had them waited on all the people, and so I went over there and started cleaning the dishes and the pots and stuff because it was piled up. And he gonna walk in there and holler at me. Boy, I gave him his job, and quicker than a hurry. And I had another boss thought he was gonna talk junk to me. He had this drunk dude having people to sign a petition that he can sell alcohol because he was selling. I don't know. So I don't know if it was beer or wine. He was already selling something, and he wanted to sell the other thing, either the beer or the wine. I can't remember which one it was. So he had this guy to come to take around a petition for people to sign. So he brought it back in to me, and he was drunk. And he knew not to have no drunk person going around doing nothing because they're going to come back drunk. And that's what he did. He came back drunk and handed me the paper. But the place was packed with people, so I'm waiting on people. I won't pay him no attention. And I'm the only one in there in the place packed with people. So I'm working. I didn't even see that he went over there and sat down and went to sleep. So when the boss came in, I heard this loud commotion. I looked up, he had them pick the dude up and threw him out the ground outside. He didn't have to do all that. I ain't crazy. And then he gonna come in and call my name out real loud, talking about what I pay you good money for. And I said, I'm still working for minimum wage. I looked at he said, well, what I'm paying you, because he had to change that because you is not paying me no good money. He said, I told you when these drunks come in here to call the police. And that's not what he said. So I didn't say nothing. You know, I just took that hollering, and when I went home, I thought about it. I said, no, he's not getting ready to talk to me like that. So I went back up there. He was standing outside, and I said, I'll come back to let you know you're not gonna talk to me that way, or something I said about that way. So he put his hands on the hill and said, but what you gonna do about it? You gonna quit? I said, no, I'm not gonna quit. I just couldn't let you know you're not gonna hurt my feelings and talk to me like that. I said, furthermore, he talking about, well, I told you that when them drunks come in here to call the police. I said, that's not what you said. You said not to serve him if they come in here, and I didn't serve him. I said, furthermore, you don't pay me enough money to hurt my feelings. And he started laughing and walked off. And this dude talking about, I thought y'all would get ready to fight. I said, if he just swung, if he just swung on me, we'd have been fighting. But I didn't quit my job. He didn't fire me. But he thought he was going to talk junk to me. Because he had told me that he must have been running low on paper that goes in the register. He said if it turned pink, not to take it out, just keep running it. Just keep running it with the pink line, with the pink middle. So that's what I did. And then he gonna accuse me of running the register with no paper. I said, no, I didn't run it with no paper. I said it was pink. I said I did what you told me to do. If it turned pink, to keep the pink paper, to keep it in there. And I said, you the one took it out. I didn't take it out. You took it out when you came in. I won't gonna let him talk no junk to me. There ain't nobody, no job that I've had that pay me enough money that you could talk junk to me. Not now. Cause I ain't really make no job that make you no money, tell you the truth. You're not getting me to talk, just talk to me in a kind of way. There'll be some little extra change, but that's about all it is. Not gonna talk no junk to me. I don't even know how I got on that. I guess about the blackball. Who put my name on this blackball is? And I'm talking about my bosses, but I don't think it was neither one of my bosses now. Because when I lived in D.C., not in D.C., Maryland, I worked in D.C. That boss, I don't know why these bosses think they could talk to me in a kind of way. And see, I do my job. I do my work plus other people work. And they think they're going to talk junk to me. Because at the group home, I was the only day counselor they had. So I made sure that when the home that I worked in, when the people come home in the evening, their food is ready, their house is clean, their bed's made, everything is in order. The house ran real smooth. But he was always trying to accuse me of stuff that other people in the house did. The worker that works at nighttime and get off in the morning, she cooked their breakfast. And she would leave the stove on. He come after me, telling me that I should make sure the stove cut off. No, she should make sure the stove cut off. She the one cooking. There was one little piece of lint up in the ceiling, and it's a high ceiling. He gonna come. I'm back in the back doing my work. He gonna come show me that one little piece of lint. I just took the broom off and went on back and started doing what I was doing. Then he gonna come get me. Unlock, because they on the thermostat had a box on it. The only way you can get in it is with a key. He gonna come and unlock it and call me out there, tell me, what is that on? And I told him what it's on. Why is it on this? I said, I don't know. I don't have no key. And walk back out. And I left him standing there because he had to piss me off. I don't know nothing about that box because it's on the lock and key. No, he just was trying to cause me problems because his old wife thinking something was going on. But honey, she was bucking up the wrong tree. It won't me messing with her husband. He was messing around with somebody, but it sure won't me. And my name was always coming up in the meeting. My house manager never would tell me, but other house managers would come and tell me that she would call, bringing my names up in the meeting. I'm the reason why that house ran so smoothly. That when those people from the state would come, they never had problem with the house. They always had problem with the paperwork. Because I made sure that house ran smooth every day. When them people would act the fool and knock holes in the walls, I'm the one that fix them holes. Thing that the maintenance men was supposed to do, I did it. I wasn't even supposed to go on the ride when they go to the grocery stores, when they go to the doctor. They want my job, but I went. I would go. Whatever they asked me to do, I did it. They would have me in there. They had 5 houses. Each house might have 5 different people who was one-on-ones. One-on-one mean they dangerous. They had me in there with all them dang on people. One of them was like 6'6". Name was Roger. Not Roger, but Rodney. And every time he see me, there go that pretty lady. There go the pretty lady. If he follow me, want me to kiss him. And he a one-on-one would knock you a man out. He hit me in my head one time. He was sitting behind me. I could he said, pow. I said, either you put him in the back of the bus or I'm not going. And the day he died, Lord, that thing bothered me so bad. Because that was the first time I actually just talked to him. Because I was talking to him because he had done started doing them grunts. I know when he get the grunting, he getting ready to hit somebody. And we was at the doctor office with regular people. And he was up making the noises. And they were going to check his heart. And the doctor said there wasn't nothing wrong with his heart. He died that same day from a heart attack. And that thing really bothered me. When I went home, they called me on the job and said that he died from a heart attack. But he had went to the doctor that day. Speaking of death, the boy that's how I started out with this. The boy that slapped my son and caused all that drama, the reason why my son is dead. He died. I believe it was either the day before yesterday, Christmas Eve or Christmas. In his sleep. One of those brown, dangerous, poisonous spiders bit him. And he went to the hospital. See, that's how no good the hospital is. People, they didn't do nothing. I don't know, they should have kept him. Because those spiders are highly poisonous. I think they call them wolf spiders or something like that. Because we had to get, the first house we moved, when we moved up this way, the first house we stayed in, they was all out there in the whole neighborhood. The neighborhood had to get them to come and spray out poison in the house and on the outside. The whole entire neighborhood. Cause them wolf, I think they call them wolf spiders or something. That's what bit him. And he died. But he died a quiet death. His brother, the one that killed my son, because he done did a whole lot of bad stuff. He used to be so bad that his mama would actually have to leave home. Because he couldn't afford acting like that toward his mama. And he be bragging about he's invincible. But he gonna see, he done been shot. The dude said he was gonna kill him, but he thought about he had a child. My son had a child too. And the child was on his neck when all this stuff started. 2 years old. And then people gonna lie to me the drug deal. That's what the police said was a drug deal gone bad. Well, if it's a drug deal gone bad, why come you ain't locked up no drug dealer? And that's a murderer. But they just made up all kind of lies. Before he leave this earth, he gonna have to answer for all the deaths that he covered up, all the deaths that he done. And all the lies that he told, all the lives that he have destroyed, he gonna answer for that. Not in hell, but he gonna answer that before he leave this earth. Every one of them, Johnson Britt, Danny Bradshaw, Johnny Weaver, and Judge Richardson. And Judge Richardson is a black judge. He just so light, he look white, but he black. So for what he did that day, he gonna answer for that. Cause he knew that dude was that chief of police was telling lies. He up there acting. Now how you gonna act out what somebody did when you want that? That's how corrupt the law is down here. But that's everywhere. I don't think they nowhere on earth that the law, the governments, and people that we need to go to, doctors, lawyers, judges. There's nowhere on this earth I don't think that is corrupt. So I think I said enough. That they just doing something inside my body, got my stomach just feeling some kind of way. They're constantly dehydrating me. But I got to do something, figure out what to do myself to get myself back the way I'm supposed to be. And that is to get all this weight off of me, get my skin back like it's supposed to be. You know how they just got my neck hanging. Like I said, I'm old. I got some age on me, but I try to take care of myself. They putting all this weight on me. It's not coming from me eating because I'm not a big eater. I can't even eat a lot of food. I can't eat with one plate of food. Anytime I try to overeat, it coming back up. I've been like that all my life. I just never could eat a lot. That's why I don't care for going out to buffets because I can't eat but one plate of food. Oh well, this thing here I got protecting my hair. It's still dry, but it got a little more moisture than it normally do. It got some moisture to it, but they will have my hair so dry. This energy in here, they have this energy on my head, and you can see it on my forehead. Cause they trying to shrink my brain like they done my sister. But that was the first diagnosis. They said she had. I got a sister and a brother. They said had brain shrinkage. I'm not trying to get my brain shrink. I don't care if I look like a Muslim. I don't care about looking like a Muslim woman or whatever. This is what I sleep with. This on my head. That itch is coming from this too. Look at that. You can see this. Look at that. Look at my arm. This is that energy. This is what we're living in. To live in this house. Paying $1,200 a month. To live in this crap. But he gonna get his whoever owned this house and owned my place, they're gonna have to answer. Because they gave these people permission to do this. That you think so little of humanity, of us, that you allow these people to do this to us. Because of your greed of money. Because of your greed of money, that you will allow this to happen. Because it's your property, this your home. And they had to come to you and get permission. And you gave it to them. And the real estate agencies. I'm speaking this into existence. I'm going to speak this into existence. That they answer for what they've done to us. Not in hell, but on this earth. The same suffering that we having, they're going to have too. So on that note, I'm going to get off of here. I did get me my new cake mixer. I like it. I like it better than I did that other one. I do. The other cake mixer, I really didn't. When I got it, I didn't like it. And this one is a smaller cake mixer. But I'm going to use the other one. That's going to be for my body butters and stuff. And I use the other one for my bath bombs. And like when I make cream soaps and stuff like that, I use that. Or either I get my hand mixer for my cream soaps. That's what I plan to do for this coming year. Uh, Show how I make different stuff. I ain't gonna do it like on a regular basis, just do it. Cause I don't have a camera. I had every time I buy a camera, uh, the thing that you take movies, I can't even take it. It always they get messed up. So I'm not gonna try it. I don't think I am. But anyway, I'm getting ready to get off of here. My nose just itching. Y'all have a blessed day.